Next up, we have Botanic Panic from the Cuphead soundtrack. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever turning on news, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream, members getting early access to the content. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitared, so please keep that in mind. Also, once again, reminder, we're still celebrating 10,000 subscribers on YouTube at the time of recording. We're already at 11. Thank you so much for that. We're celebrating two ways. Number one, I'm giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. Vintage Story! And number two, starting now, we are starting to actually play some of the games we've covered. First two have been just Shapes and Beats and Limbus Company. More information at the end of the video on the how to spiel thing. With that, let's do this. Botanic Panic, let's go. Yo tayo, welcome to the Okay, so we are starting with what? A saxophone. It's either a saxophone, might be it sounds like a saxophone, maybe a trombone. No, it's a saxophone, and a couple of clarinets. Of course, we have a drum. Of course, Cuphead, very 1930s, that kind of art style. And the music has that. And the music of this time was primarily jazz. So we are using very, very much some jazz. Of course, with these two instruments, with these two layers are happening, we're getting what is called a call and response. Call and response, musical conversation. You can hear it now. We have the saxophone playing. And then we are having what I think are clarinets doing the response. These two together would give us our initial melody, which contains our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. So, yeah, we're going to be taking requests after this video, so stick around for that. All right, thank you for hanging out. Francie, have a good one. So yeah, we're having that, and very frantic, very insane. Jazz usually has this. Let's see where it goes. So yeah, now you can hear it. We moved from the first one. Now we're having the first development of the motif. We're now having the first saxophone doing what is called a run. A run is when you go very fast. Like you play a scale fast. We're having this nice scale fast doing the call, a variation of the call, and the response stayed the same. I think it's two saxophones now instead of the clarinets. Let's see where this goes. That's a clarinet. That's a saxophone. Okay, and I see what's happening here. So over here, we are doing what is called a 12-bar blues. 12-bar blues is a type of structure that exists. It's a very specific type based on which chords you play and how long you play them for. So depending on the format, it's going to be that, but usually it's going to be bars going in the 1 minor 7, going to the 4 minor 7, then going back to the 1 minor 7, then 1 minor 7, then 5 minor 7, 4 minor 7, minor 7, and then back to 1 minor 7, and this happens over the course of 12 bars. So you get, depending on how you do this, you could do 4-4-4, you could do 2-2-2-2-2, you could do different combinations. Okay, so what the hell are these, right? So these are what are called the degrees. These are the chord progressions. When it comes to music, we use what is called intervals. The intervals and / degrees. Intervals and degrees are the distance of the notes and their position in the scale. So if we were to take, for example, the scale of A minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then, yes, that's the scale of A minor. A would be number 1, B would be number 2, C would be number 3, D would be number 4, E5, F6, G7, and then A would be number 8. So the way that it works is that you are going to have the distance being the interval. So from A, a second away from A would be B, a third would be C, a fourth would be D, going upwards. And then the degrees of this. A would be number 1, the first chord. B would be number 2, the second chord. C would be number 3. D would be number 4. And we use Roman numerals for this. So what does this mean? This means that in the scale of A minor, we are going to have the first chord. And usually we use like for the for blues, we have this, and then we're gonna move to D minor, back to A minor. Then we could do it again. And then we would move to the 5th, which is E. And then you get this whole transition, and the whole idea is to get the wait, well, you could do. Like that kind of vibe is when you get from the 12-bar blues, is the structure that you get. What are we doing? We are taking this very nice and chill formula that you have of chords that you play, and we're applying this to the super frantic jazz that is happening over here. Let's see where this goes. Oh, new variation. So now we're having 2 clarinets doing the new motif, doing what is called parallel motion. That's harmonization. You can hear them, both of them, doing basically the same thing, just for different starting points. We are now moving from saxophones to clarinets, and the second response is now being done by trumpets. Same idea, different instruments. Let's see where this goes. That's the 4. Back to number 1. 5, 4, 1. Variations, bass clarinet. And we bring in a xylophone. So the way this piece is being worked on is on the principle of a lead sheet. A lead sheet is the way that jazz musicians and blues musicians and many of the contemporary musicians we have end up doing most of the music nowadays. Whereas in older music, you would have what would be called a score. Score means that you have a director, you have a big ensemble, and you have. Let me bring a score, right? Let me bring, because I have a few over here. Where's my sheet music? Here's my sheet music. Let me bring something by, let's bring Bach. Let's bring the St. Matthew Passion, right? So let me open and let me show you a orchestral score, right? So for an orchestral score, you would see this much music, and is basically every single bar throughout the entirety of the piece. This is, of course, for bigger ensembles, right? So you can have all of these, and basically the whole thing is written out over here with precise instructions of what each instrument plays throughout this whole thing. This is the St. Matthew Passion. It's a massive ensemble that you need. However, if I bring you the Bossa lead sheet, I'm going to show you something far simpler, which is a lead sheet. This is what a lead sheet... This is what a lead sheet looks like. Let me do the thing. So as you can see over here, yeah, this over here, a lot simpler than this over here. And this is how jazz musicians do this. So this is the lead sheet for Blue Bossa. And this is coded in a way so that all the musicians can get this. Because over here, for example, this is the orchestral score that the director will have. And then each individual musician is going to have an individual score, and all of them are going to be different because each section is going to have something different depending on what they're doing. And it's just a super complex level of logistics. So jazz musicians decided to simplify this and say, what if we all just use the same single page of music, which is what we're having over here. So as you can see over here, we have, of course, our key signature, we have our time signature over here, then we have the sheet music itself playing the melody of this, which in this case it's Blue Bossa. this kind of melody, and then we are having over here written down the chords that you're supposed to play with it. So the chords that you're supposed to play while this is playing, you have... then we have, what, G minor 7? C7? So you're having all the chords being played, and then you just distribute these along the rest of the ensemble. So you can say, okay, we can have a saxophone and the first guitar playing the melody, while we have the second guitar and the piano playing the chords over here, and then over here it says medium up bossa, so the drums just plays a bossa rhythm on top of this, and now everybody just plays along. And now we have the lead sheet. It has the instructions, and you can make additional notes. For example, over here it says play head twice after solos DS al coda. It gives you the instructions. Okay, so we play the whole melody, we go through the whole thing, then we start playing the whole thing without the melody, and instead of playing the melody, we're just going to start rotating solos. And that is the structure for most jazz music, which is why you look at this over here. This is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 bars of melody, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 9 more bars for the outro, or for this part over here. That is maybe a minute of music that you can get from this. You go to YouTube and you search for Blue Bossa, most of the recordings are going to be 7, 8, 9 minutes long. Why? Because they play the main theme, and then they go on to solos. And they just start cycling through solos. So right now, this is exactly what we're doing. We had the first 47 seconds where we did the theme, we did the main motif, we did variations on that, and now we're off to solos, just like is intended in jazz. So this is where things deviate a little bit when it comes to the usual formula. This is what jazz is all about, which is why many people have a difficult time getting into jazz, because most of these solos are improvised. Meaning that the connective tissue is just in the rest of the ensemble. And again, when you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same thing, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. There is one universal exception, which is solos. No matter the style, no matter the genre, as long as the solo sounds cool enough and it fits enough, you can get away with almost anything. And this almost comes with the caveat of, if you do it too much, you start running into these risks of boring the audience or overwhelming the audience. And that is one of the reasons why jazz is a relatively niche genre, because you get the first theme, which is the first minute usually, and then it's off to improvisation land. The people who like jazz like it, and the people who don't, chances are they don't like it because of that. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's for newer jazz, right? So yeah, let's see where this goes. So yeah, we're having a xylophone solo. Little details here and there of the other instruments down below, keeping that initial material. Then we go for the original. Variation number 3, I think. We're having the trumpet and trombones. Nice. 5, 4, 1. Variations of the original and new variation. So yeah, now we're just taking the melody itself, and instead of doing a call and response, everybody's doing the same thing. We're just not going through that 12-bar blues, but we're now having everybody doing these descending melodies variation, using part of that motif to develop the material further. This is nice, dude. Let's see where it goes. Back to the one, and a little bit of chromaticism there. Transition over here, still following that same formula, but now we switch over to having this little bit of a chromatic, this little scale here with a bit of chromaticism, and we're having the piano taking a bit more of a front center thing. So chromaticism is when you borrow notes from the chromatic scale to use adornments or modulations or whatever it is you're doing. So if we go back to the scale of A minor, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that is going to be on the piano all the white keys starting and ending in A. Which leaves us with all the remaining ones. So the way that chromaticism works is that you take from the chromatic scale. The chromatic scale is all 12 tones in Western music. And then from there, you build your scales. We have a series of formulas that you can use so that the scales work the same way no matter the notes you're using. And then chromaticism is when you take from the remaining scales. So what are we doing over here? We are going from this note to this note. And we're just adding the chromaticism in between. And that's what is happening over here with then the piano adding a little bit of extra. We're doing now a variation of that initial motif. We're just reducing, we're just bringing down the distances covered between the notes. Let's see where this goes. Piano solo with a little bit of the saxophones playing in the background. Piano solo. No, trumpets. Trumpets. Trumpet, the piano's playing a very nice fast arpeggio over there. Going through another variation of the motif. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, new variation. So yeah, now we're doing a new variation where we're having the, I think these are still clarinets, doing these really cool runs, but what are we doing? We're doing a variation where we're just holding the first note a little bit, and then we are playing the rest. We are doing now a partial elongation to that first note, and then we're having it. So elongation is a way that you can develop your material in which you play a slower version of something you've done before. So in this case, what did we have? We're not just doing elongation. We're combining the first version of the motif with the second version of the motif, because the first version of the motif was the call was just a held note while the trumpets were doing, well, the response would do its thing. Second version was the little run up and down. This version is the long note followed by the up and down. So cool. And yeah, the trumpets are doing the response with just that descending scale we've heard before. Let's see where this goes. Oh no, it's going up. Just playing the chords. They're playing the chords. So cool. Up. Little bit of a upward going scale transition. Different runs. And we explode into the next part. New variation of the color response. I love this. All of these are slight variations, like just experimenting with the different versions that you can get out of this. This whole thing so far, we've been doing the exact same thing different ways. This kind of structure, by the way, form-wise, form in music is the structure. Usually for instrumental music, which determines the sections that you use. Right now, we're doing in my opinion, one of the more difficult ones, which is called theme and variations. Theme and variations, we are taking the initial theme, which is the motif and a solo. Like we do the motif, a little bit of a solo kind of thing, and we're doing that and immediately following it up with a variation. And that's it. That's all we're getting, and it's working super nicely. Let's see where this goes. Nice. 5, 4, 1. Nice. Saxophone solo. So yeah, it's 2 parts. First part, motif. Second part, solo. Man, that trombone, though. The trombone is doing the bass here. Yeah, we're using a trombone. It's either a trombone or a tuba instead of a regular bass. That's why this feels so different. Because usually for jazz ensembles, you would use a double bass. You would use a double bass for it. The double bass, of course, being the largest of the viol family. This one that you have to stand up to even play the thing, and usually it's plucked. Usually the player is plucking the strings instead of bowing them. And right now, instead of that, we're using either a trombone. I think I'm leaning towards tuba. We're using a tuba for this one. Although it could be trombones, though. I think it might be a trombone because the trombone is more commonly found in jazz ensembles, and we're using a trombone instead of a bass, and that's what's giving us this different vibe. Let's see where this goes. This is so cool. Oh, saxophone solos! Hell yeah! 5, 4, 1. And one more run. One more run. Oh, we're starting the outro. Oh, very quickly. We hit the brakes. One last resolution. We slow it down. One last low note. Yeah, that's tuba. And there you have it. Oh my god. Okay, so for this game, the chances are that each one of these variations would trigger depending on the stage of the boss fight or the level that you're in. And then that last bit is the level completion. Makes so much sense if you put it in the context of a video game. Even by itself, this was a very digestible jazz piece because we kept bringing back that initial theme, which is something that that many jazz standards miss. That they just go on to solos and they do like 5.5 minutes of solos and they forget to bring back the theme until like 4 or 5 minutes afterwards. So yeah. There you go. So this is why this one worked so well, because we kept bringing back those variations of that initial motif. And there you have it. That was Botanic Panic from the Cuphead original soundtrack. I loved it, dude. This is how you do jazz, man. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician, a composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever telling you to use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, at the time of recording, we're still celebrating 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you once again, everybody, for that. We're already at 11, but we're still celebrating 10. We're doing this two ways. Number one, I am giving away 10 copies of Vintage Story. Vintage Story! It used to be a Minecraft mod, now it's its own standalone game. I love it, I prefer it, which is why I'm giving away 10 copies of this game on the Discord server. The giveaways are going to happen on the second half of February 2026, as I said, on the Discord server, on the weekends of the 21st and 28th of February. So if you haven't already joined the Discord, linked in the description to get your chance at this. That is way number one. Number two, I'm also going to be starting playing some of the games we've covered on this channel. The first two games, every 5,000 subscribers up until 100,000, we're going to start playing some of the games we've covered on this channel. First two have been Just Shapes and Beats and Limbus Company. We finished the story in Just Shapes and Beats. We've been playing through Limbus Company during the after shows. A lot of fun. And yeah, if you can't catch them during the live, the recordings are going to the gaming channel. More on that in a moment. So make sure you join the Discord server. That's where everything gets announced first. Whether it's the streams going live, the videos going up on the channels, updates, projects, giveaways, everything gets announced there first. Of course, that's where we also have the community. We hang out, we chat, we steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own. And where I host the Vintage Story community server. Vintage Story! I love the game so much I built a PC just to host the server, right? So, linked in the description, join the Discord server today and become a member of our community. Also, share these videos with everybody that you know. Use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that, so linked in the description. Yeah, share the, yes, help the channel grow. Musicians, artists, or otherwise on YouTube or elsewhere, this is an open invitation. If you want any of my musical skills for any of your projects, reach out. Let me know. Let's work together. Let's make stuff. And if you're in the audience and you know somebody that you would like me to collaborate with, reach out. Let them know. Please do not harass anyone. Please do not spam anyone. Be cool about things. Don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule the videos for the week on Saturdays. And if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. So become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request a song and you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions of what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim from Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe. I can't speak, man. I don't have a script, okay? I don't have a script, and I'm slurring my words today. 6 p.m. Central Europe. If you're not in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. So, if you live in Quincha Chile, and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to Discord or Twitch, and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. Have a gaming channel? Because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. Recorded live during main channel's after show recordings. Go here. Thanks again for 300 subscribers on here. So yeah, this is where the VODs for Just Shapes and Beats, Limbus Company, and every other game we cover go to. So linked in the description, or just search on YouTube. Same username as James R. Basterd. Just hope the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you have it. Botanic, Panic, Cuphead. That was so much fun, dude. That was really fun. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.